Hey everyone, Nicole here for Fit Me Fitness and welcome to another Fitness Friday. Today we have a lot of different topics to talk about. We're definitely going to go over some push-ups and sit-ups, and then I got some awesome questions from some of you fans out there, so we'll go over those as well. Our first topic for the day are push-ups and proper form. When most people are doing push-ups, whether it's on your toes or on your knees, a lot of people think that putting your hands out wide is the best way to do a push-up. Unfortunately, this puts a lot of pressure on your shoulders and can actually do more damage to your shoulders, which we don't want to do. You also don't have to go so close to your body that your elbows are touching your sides and you're doing more of a tricep push-up, because then you're not hitting all the muscle groups that you want to hit with a push-up. Instead, I'm going to show you today how to do a push-up with your arms slightly out, elbows tucked in, and arms parallel to the ground. First, I'll show you a push-up like I'm talking about with your arms out wide, and why that puts a lot of pressure on your shoulders. In proper push-up form, we want our chest to touch the ground. When your chest touches the ground, you can see that my shoulders have a lot of pressure put on them because they can't follow the full movement that you're doing. Instead, we want our push-ups to look more like this. Arms are about shoulder width apart, and watch as my elbows point out towards the side at more of a 45-degree angle. In this push-up, my shoulders can come all the way down to the ground, the same as my chest. I'll show you that one more time. Make sure you tuck your butt and bring it down with you. This is not a push-up. This is a push-up. The next topic today is how to do a proper sit-up. Now, a lot of people think that sit-ups are outdated and that they don't really work your abs well, but they're actually a great tool for working on your superficial abs. Now, when most people think of a full sit-up, they think of something like this. Back flat on the ground, feet planted, legs at about a 45-degree angle, hands either right behind your head or crossed over your chest, and they think about just sitting straight up and trying to touch their elbows to their knees. You can do sit-ups this way. The only problem is that your abs aren't doing as much work as your hip flexors. So, in the CrossFit world, they've changed your normal sit-up. The way that they teach sit-ups is, instead of with having your feet planted and your legs at a 45-degree angle, we're actually going to sit nice and tall in a butterfly position. Sit straight back, and now you can either keep your arms in front of you, or if sit-ups are more challenging for you, you can keep your arms behind you and use a little bit of momentum. By splaying our legs out like this, we're slightly disengaging the hip flexors, so we're using our core to sit up. We come to a full upright position, touching our hands to our toes. A better way to do this type of sit-up is with what is called an ab mat. If you don't have an ab mat, you can simply use a towel or a blanket, roll it up, put it under the small of your back. This helps you to get a fuller range of motion, and it will help so that your back doesn't start to hurt from doing this motion. And again, arms go either behind your head or in front, and you sit straight up, nice and tall. Now, different ways to make these more challenging. It's more challenging the closer you bring your feet in. It's also more challenging when you're down here to have your hands in front of you where you're not using the momentum of your arms. If this is too challenging, you can move your feet out more, put your arms above your head, and use your arms as momentum. If that's still too challenging, you can start with your feet perfectly straight out like this. This makes it much easier. If you're doing it with your legs straight, you just need to touch your shins. I'll show you one more time, proper form of what we call in CrossFit an ab mat sit-up. This week I received 3 questions from 3 of my fans out there for Fit Me Fitness. The first question was, how do you do a proper burpee? I'll show you a couple different kinds of burpees. Traditionally, burpees have been taught that you get down in a crouched position, jump your legs straight back into a plank position, do a push-up, jump your legs back in, and jump up in the air. Doing that all together looks like this. Now they're taught a little differently. In CrossFit, the standard burpee looks slightly different. Instead of crouching down and doing a push-up, you're actually going to crouch down, jump your legs back, collapse your body, do a negative push-up, bring your feet in, and jump up and clap your hands. When you're doing these in a workout, if you're getting too tired with the jump, you can also do a burpee regulation CrossFit like this. Instead of doing a jump at the end, watch where my feet go. You just bring them together. Next question that I got was, how do you stay motivated? Well, I know how hard that can be, especially if you're not seeing results right away. But best way to stay motivated is to make goals for yourself. Have one big, long-term, ultimate goal. And in between there, break it down into smaller goals. The best way to keep your mind on these and keep yourself motivated is to write them down. And don't just write them in your journal that sits by your bed that you don't look at. Write them on Post-it notes. Write them on paper. Stick them where you're going to see them every day, and that will definitely help you keep motivated. The last question I had was about how to do a beginner workout. I will have a type-up in my description of the beginner workout that I would suggest, but a great way to put a beginner workout together is to do some of the different moves that I've shown you, but just do them at your body weight. Doing squats, doing burpees, doing sit-ups, doing push-ups. You can also do things like jumping jacks, anything that you're just using your own body weight. And once you get used to that stuff, that's when you can start adding weight. Well, everyone, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. Thanks again for tuning in for another Fitness Friday.